All right. Hello, citizens of the Nigerverse. It's Nigel once again, and this is going to be another video game review. Oh, uh, for starters, nearly there in terms of full voice recovery, but we're getting there, and just do bear with me. It'll probably be like this for the next like few days or so, and if it continues for weeks, then we should probably be concerned. But I'm hoping that I'm recovering slowly but surely, essentially. But Previously on the channel, I played Batman: Arkham Asylum. I did my first ever, I guess, Let's Play. Even though Let's Plays are not dead, but not as much of a focus anymore, I feel like, on YouTube. But I wanted to play Batman Arkham Asylum for you guys, and so we got through it, we beat the story, now it's time to review it. I'm talking about Batman Arkham Asylum. Of course, as always, I am not professional video game reviewer, analyst, or anything like that, just a man who enjoys a good time. And I must say, I had a very good time going back and revisiting this game, even if it's not uh, the original one I played on, the original version I played. I originally played it on PS3. Then I played it on PS4 because I got the Return to Arkham bundle. And then once I got my new PC here, I really got into Steam, really got into the online gaming, and I found that they had the bundle on sale, so I got the bundle. So we're gonna be playing through the Arkham series on PC, starting, of course, with this game. But yeah, going back and revisiting this game was a very good time. I'm going back and playing it for you guys this time was very fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed my coverage of it. But does it hold up about 16 years later? In fact, the 16th anniversary was not too long ago. I think probably like a month ago or so, if I'm not mistaken. Game came out August 25th. So a few months ago since the 16th anniversary. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, if you've seen these reviews of mine before, you kind of already know how this works, or at least you have an idea of how this works. However, if you haven't, I'm going to be talking about what I liked and disliked about the game, as well as providing a brief plot summary. Now, admittedly, I'm probably going to speed through a lot of the plot summary, only because the way it's laid out on the wiki here is pretty long. But also B, I want to kind of incentivize you if you haven't seen. And I'm gonna adjust my camera slightly. If you haven't seen my Let's Play series of Batman Arkham Asylum, then go check that out. In fact, I might do it compilation style where I might put all the videos together, but I'm not entirely sure yet. But if you guys do want me to do that, please feel free to let me know in the comments. But so I'm gonna provide a very brief plot summary. Excuse me. So pretty much, Joker is transferred to Arkham Asylum. Or actually, I should say, Joker assaults Gotham City Hall, taken to Arkham Asylum. And a bunch of his goons are transferred to Arkham Asylum as well after a fire broke out at Blackgate Prison. I'm sure those things aren't connected, uh, but Batman, being the world's greatest detective, he's on to the Joker. So he decides to accompany Joker as he's being brought into the asylum, and pretty much from there, in probably one of the best, most iconic like video game openings, like Joker just kind of monologuing as he's being stretchered into the asylum. Joker pretty much all but confirms that everything pretty much happened as planned. He pretty much confirmed that, yep, you guys fell right into my trap. And lo and behold, Joker takes over the asylum. Joker and Harley Quinn and take over the asylum. All of Joker's men are there, so uh, they completely lock down the asylum. They're aided by Frank Bowles, who was a Arkham guard, but he is essentially a turncoat. He's kind of a double agent, if you will. Joker lets everybody free. So essentially now the inmates are literally, in this case, running the asylum. Because Batman's there, here he decides he's going to stop them. So Commissioner Gordon is kidnapped. Batman eventually gets him back. Along the way, Batman runs into a lot of his rogues gallery, including Mr. Zaz. Which fun fact, I don't think I mentioned this when I reviewed Lego Batman. Mr. Zaz was originally supposed to be in the main console version of the game, but he was considered too dark of a character in terms of backstory and everything. And even in design, his design looks creepy. He was considered way too dark to be in the main game. Still made it into the DS version of Lego Batman though, so great. But nevertheless, Batman runs into him. He has his encounters with Scarecrow, and his fear toxin, and Batman has to fight him. He runs into Poison Ivy, who she's eventually running amok. She's trapped behind her cell at first, but Harley Quinn lets her out, so now he has to deal with and he also has to deal with Bane as well. Oh, and it's partially through Bane and through the course of the night. Hey, the events of Arkham Asylum take place within the span of a single night, but Batman essentially learns that Joker paid Dr. Young to develop Titan formula, which is a more powerful, which is a more powerful power. Okay, let's try that again. It is a more powerful version of the Venom drug that gave Bane his powers. There we go. So, now Joker, and Doctor Young didn't realize it was Joker. Joker now wants the Titan, and so he's pursuing Doctor Young, which is partially why he's spraying this trap so that he can have access to Doctor Young, who is a doctor at Arkham, and eventually Joker kills her off because a she was gonna squeal, and b he essentially has no more use for her. Or so now Joker's got his hands on the Titan formula and is using it to create an army of guards. There's a few or army of Titan henchmen, I should say. Joker essentially he has this Titan. He's going to create pretty much a super army, a super soldier army, if you will, but not quite the same thing. But eventually he Joker gives a little bit of the Titan to Poison Ivy's plants, which begin to overrun the island. So Batman has to stop her. He does stop Bane as well by driving his car into him, and which unfortunately is not the same car we would see in Arkham Knight. So I guess Batman had some upgrades over the years, but or I should say between the time frame between Arkham Asylum and Arkham Knight, which makes sense. But Batman eventually gets the antidote, or he gets the cure, if you will. He'll by gathering the spores. But first, he has to go through Killer Croc's lair, which they foreshadow pretty much at the beginning of the game with Croc saying he has Batman's scent and is going to be tracking him. So Batman has to deal with him, goes through Killer Croc's lair, manages to gather the spores while evading the Croc, and so Batman and takes out Poison Ivy. He subdues the plants and then battles the Joker, who tries to inject Batman himself at first with the Titan, but Batman resists because he's Batman, and uses the cure on himself. So Joker injects himself with Titan and becomes a pretty much giant Titan monster. And Batman eventually has to stop him, which of course he does. And Joker is locked up. The rest of the guards are not the guards. The rest of the inmates are locked back up. The asylum is safe. Everybody happy. But we do see that Bane managed to survive. He's in the floating water because Batman doesn't kill. And he clings onto a crate of Titan. So the Titan is technically still out there, but we'll get more of a resolution to that once we play Arkham City. But ladies and gentlemen, now that that's out of the way, in terms of what I liked, like a lot of people feel that this is one of the best superhero games of all time. Even though, yes, Batman's technically not a superhero, a lot of people consider this to be one of, if not the best superhero games of all time. And I have to agree. Just about everything about this game is on point. Like the music, the atmosphere of the asylum, how everything looks so kind of dark and dingy, very run down in a way. Batman has a variety of tools and gadgets at his arsenal because he's Batman, and so he needs a lot of those tools, and he uses them to combat at the inmate. It's Batman, and also who has his Batcave on the Asylum Island because of course he does, and you do get new stuff as you progress through the game. You get you get the line launcher, you get the bat claw, you get and all kinds of stuff. You even get a hacking device that allows you to hack into terminals to shut down some of the gates that Joker has placed up. So there's those aspects. There's detective aspects as well because Batman is a detective, such as being able to who scan forensics and use that to follow people's trails, such as when you have to scan Commissioner Gordon's tobacco so that you can follow him and see where he's been taken to, or when you Oh, or when you scan Warden Sharp's blood, in order to track him. So, having those detective elements in the game, and we would see that evolve throughout the series. But the fact that it's also here, or even in the first game, is very cool, and you really feel like the Batman. There is the combat. There's there's two types of kind of combat when it comes to the game. The first is the regular combat sections where you're fighting a variety of guards and enemies. Excuse me, not necessarily guards, but more so enemies, inmate hates, excuse me, what have you. Who and there is the free flow combat at which is pretty fun to pull off, and you are able to upgrade it alongside other things throughout the game. And then there's the predator missions where you pretty much hide in the shadows and avoid being seen. It's not an automatic game over, but it'll make it a lot harder as you take out the guards one by one, and we see how those progress as well in difficulty as the game continues, such as when Joker has the heartbeat monitors that tell him whenever a guard is taken out, or when they rig the gargoyles with explosives, so you can't overly rely on he can't overly rely on the gargoyles too much, and it kind of ramps up in difficulty, and the goons, well, actually, it's more so Joker who gets smarter. The goons slash henchmen, they mainly say aim, but speaking of which, some of their dialogue is pretty funny. Not as funny as it would be in like Arkham City or Arkham Knight, but seeing some of their dialogue is pretty funny. Yeah, throughout the game. Hey man, all those elements really combine to really feel like a Batman experience. You really feel like you are the Batman, and they take so much advantage of of the character, and they you can tell that the developers, being Rocksteady, yeah, which I believe this was one of their first games, if I'm not mistaken, but you can tell they really studied the character, and they really wanted to bring the most authentic experience possible when it comes to the character and what they wanted to do with him. And Batman feels like an absolute beast in this game. And the exploration, there's a lot to explore. Or admittedly, I didn't go for 100%, but you very well can. You can head through the asylum. There's a lot of collectibles. There's the interview tapes. There's the Riddler trophies, which Riddler actually does not make a physical appearance in this game. He wouldn't physically appear until Arkham City, but you're able to pick up the Riddler trophies. You're able to pick up the interview tapes, and you're able to scan for riddles, for starters. There's that the Riddler leaves behind, but then you're also or leaves throughout the asylum, but then you're also able to scan the Chronicles of Arkham and listen to his story. There's replay incentive, there's challenge maps that you can play. Admittedly, I didn't play any challenge maps when I did my let's play, but or I specifically Nigel plays, but there are uh but there are the challenge maps such as like the Predator missions or the combat missions. Immediately, I kind of did some of those on my own time, um, but yeah, and it's also worth mentioning in the PlayStation version, you can also play as the Joker. Batman may not kill, but Joker sure as hell does. And admittedly, those were kind of fun. And I didn't play too many of those when I played on console, but there is that option. But obviously, it's not here on PC. So So there is quite a bit to do. Who who and the sense of environment and world building that this game has is absolutely well done, and there's a lot of fun set segments and a lot of fun, um and there's a lot of variety in what you're doing. It's not all, it doesn't feel super repetitive. If they throw in a twist to keep it from feeling too repetitive, such as the scarecrow sections where it's very nightmarish and you have to traverse without being seen by scarecrow, or the killer croc section, even though I'm not the biggest fan of it, where you're going to collect the spores without trying to alert killer croc. Those are pretty cool. So it does quite a bit to break up the monotony and make the game very fun to play and very fun to experience. And of course, first you have Kevin Conroy as Batman and Mark Hamill as Joker. And really, that's all you need. The other voice work I think is very well done. But Kevin Conroy, the legendary, iconic voice of Batman, doing the Batman role, not just in this game, but throughout the entire Arkham series. He's aside from Arkham Origins, but we'll get to that when we play Arkham Origins. Is very well done, and of course Mark Hamill well, as the Joker. They very much make a dynamic duo, for lack of a better term, and it's pretty cool to see them come back for the game. And of course, there's RIP to the GOAT, Kevin Conroy. But in terms of what I didn't quite like as much about the game. Admittedly, it's a bit older. Or there are certain aspects of it that don't look the best through modern lens, but I can't really harp on that too much because that's not really fair. Or, it's a game essentially from 2009. It's scaled up for PC and everything, so it looks really nice. But otherwise, it's a game from 2009. I can't bully it that much because that really wouldn't be fair. But it still looks very good for nowadays, but some aspects of it do look a little strange. And the that and I didn't mind fighting the Titan and the Titan enemies, is aka the enemies that have been infused with the Titan formula, buffed up with the Titan formula, so that they're a lot bigger and a lot stronger. I think those fights were all right. They did get a little repetitive at times, especially when you also have to juggle the other enemies. But having Joker, the final boss, be just another Titan fight, just prolonged, I think was very disappointing, and I think it was very disappointing for a lot of people as well. Oh, like of all the things they could have done for a Joker final fight, and not even just for a final fight in general, but one featuring the Joker, the Clown Prince of Crime, just having it be another Titan fight that you've already done several times, I think was very disappointing. It was very much a missed opportunity. There were so many other avenues they could have went, but they decided to go the somewhat safe route, I guess, because you had already done Titan fights up to this point. And I guess from a narrative sense, it makes sense because Joker's creating a Titan army. Why not get high off your own supply? But it was pretty disappointing to see that the Joker fight is pretty much just another Titan battle. But nevertheless, I won't let it dampen my enjoyment because the game was still very fantastic. It was very great to see, and I can't wait to play Arkham City. But that won't be until in 2026. And this month I did have a different game in mind we may revisit, but something came up and that kind of complicated things. So instead, for this month, in fact, we'll probably be starting it this week, hopefully on Saturday, if not Sunday. We will be starting Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and turn on those post notifications so you know every time I upload a video so you never miss an upload. And let me know in the comment section below what are your thoughts on this game, my review. Do you like Arkham Asylum? Do you like my review of Arkham Asylum? Let me know. Go check out my Nigel Plays series on Arkham Asylum, and I think now that I think about it, I think I will do a compilation style when it comes to that. So that will be compiled. So stay tuned for that probably next week. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Peace.